Max. Max, come here, buddy. Come here. Well. Okay. Can you see me? Hopefully you can. All right. Oh shit, that boy Rob! All right, camera is on. Awesome. All right, so what's up for all the people who are new here? This is our monthly Q&A where I answer questions that you guys have. So yeah. Anyway, what's up? How's everybody doing today? It's a beautiful day. Like it's kind of chilly outside. It's like in the mid 40s, but it's really nice. Like I don't know, jacket weather. My coffee is right here. Well, at least it was right here. It came in the form of Monster Energy drink this morning. So, as you guys know, I usually start, or at least one thing I started doing in the last one, and what I'm going to start doing going forward, is two things. One, tell you guys a little story about something that I have, and two, to let you guys know what's going on with the channel. So, Max. Come here, Max. Up. Come here, buddy. Max, up. Come here. Come here, Max. Up. Up. Fucking dog never does what I tell him to do. Come on, Max. Get up. Stand up, buddy. Come here, man. There we go. Oh, come on. No. Come here. There we go. Okay. Finally, Max does what I tell him to do. Damn dog never listens. You never listen, do you, Max? Look at that. He sees this is a milk bone. This is Max. This is my buddy. This is Max. Max, I adopted a little while ago, several months ago, and he's got really bad separation anxiety. And the reason why, no, we just started a few minutes ago. The reason why Max has separation anxiety is because I didn't discover until after I adopted him. Apparently, over the course of like a month, he was adopted and returned like 7 times. So I was like, no, Max is too adorable of a dog to let go. So yeah, definitely adopting or keeping Max. Here you go, Max. Here's your milk bone. Here's your milk bone, Max. You want it? You got to take it, Max. You got to take it, man. You got to take it. You got to take it. There you go. He's like, give me that damn bone, man. I ain't playing no damn games. But anyway, so story time. That's just Max. Somebody in the chat asked for me to talk about Max before we started this, so I figured I'd tell you guys a little bit about Max. He's a mix between a Labrador Retriever and a pit bull and a hound, because he puts his nose to the ground when he sniffs, when he's sniffing something out. So that's a hound. He's got the body of a pit bull, but he's got the head, like you guys noticed with the ears and the snout, of a Labrador Retriever. Now, story time. This is my favorite camera in the whole wide world. This is a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema. It's basically what like indie filmmakers use, and even some professional filmmakers use. I actually got the idea for the camera from a guy named Philip Bloom, who I highly suggest you check out if you guys are interested in like camera videos and stuff like that. But I also had to go out and get a lens, a macro 4/3 lens, which this is 12 millimeters, which means it equals out to about 35 millimeters roughly. But this is one of my favorites because it comes with super high quality. The problem with this lens is that the f-stop isn't very good, so it doesn't shoot very well in dark spots. So for those of you guys who are watching the Rob Explains videos, that's why this camera was always so dark, because the lens doesn't lend itself to dark environments. But I liked it. I thought it was pretty cool. So, questions. Hey Rob, are you going to look at all new, all different Doctor Strange, especially since the movie is coming out? Yes, the week the movie comes out, I will have both the story arcs from all new, all different Doctor Strange. The Way of the Weird and Last Days of Magic, I think is what they're called. But both of those videos will be coming out. Confused, where to start, what to start, DC or Marvel. Honestly, read both. I'm not one of those guys. I mean, I used to be like, you should only read Marvel. But I'm not one of those guys anymore. You know, after getting on with New 52, really, and then jumping in with DC Rebirth, like I love what DC's putting out right now. DC Rebirth is usually pretty straightforward. There are a couple things like Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns. You just got to read everything from Jeff Johns. I mean, that's just the way it is. I'll try to make I'm going to make a video on Hal Jordan and the Green Lanterns, the first story arc, and I'll try to add in what we need to know as we go over it, because really it just focuses on the Sinestro Corps. So we can just focus on what was going on with Sinestro, and we'll add in whatever we need to talk about. But you know, still, like I will, I think I'm going to do a video on that. But you know, that like Batman is a jumping off point. Like it's pretty easy to you know, to get into DC Rebirth. All new, all different. Marvel is a whole different beast. It's not all new and it's not all different. When the end of Secret Wars happened, Reed Richards recreated the mainstream Marvel universe, and so basically Marvel just picked up where they left off, and that was much to the chagrin of people who were looking for a fresh jumping off point, which is one of the reasons why a lot of the all new, all different Marvel titles have received mixed to poor reviews, because people just don't really like what's coming out. But, you know, the great thing about DC Rebirth, the great thing about all new, all different Marvel is it's really just pick your poison. There's so many different titles out there right now. Having said that, with Marvel Now 2.0, they're changing things up. So like the new Avengers, Uncanny Avengers, and all new, all different Avengers are getting new names, and they're being rebranded and so on and so forth. So, how do I feel about Logan? I'm really excited about Logan. I think the movie... How many of you guys... What do you guys think about the trailer? Did you guys like the trailer, or did you guys hate the trailer? Because I loved it. I thought it was amazing. Johnny Cash was really cool. I'm not really sure what direction... Because it's based loosely on Old Man Logan. And when I say it's based loosely, I mean it's based very loosely. As in, like, Patrick Stewart, Professor X, will be traveling around with, you know, Wolverine, and mutants seem to be gone, and that's like it. But a lot of that's because Fox owns so little properties from the Marvel universe, they just don't have enough, you know, they don't have enough to be able to pull it off. It's just not enough content there. So they're making do with what they have. That being said, this is the last time that we will see Hugh Jackman play Wolverine, and so I have a feeling they pulled out all the stops and they basically just kind of let him do his thing. But what they are going to do, I don't know how many of you guys noticed, but X-23 was in the trailer, and I can almost guarantee you what they're going to do is they're going to spin her out into her own series of Wolverine movies to test it. The question is, can Fox produce, and will people go see X-Men movies that do not have Hugh Jackman? Because I think Michael Fassbender said he's still down for doing more movies, but I think Jennifer Lawrence is done playing Mystique. I think Patrick Stewart's done playing Professor X. Max, you going to eat your milk bone, man? Of course, we know Hugh Jackman's done playing Wolverine, so I'm not really sure what they're gonna do. Like this will be the test. Do people care enough about Fox's X-Men properties to go see them, even if Wolverine's not there? That'll be the test. So no, I actually like that he doesn't have a Wolverine costume. I like that he's just old and grizzly and that kind of thing. I thought it was pretty cool. Yes, Batman vs Superman did have a good trailer. That's true. Trailer's not everything, but oh yeah, Dakin was too. That's right. I forgot about that. How do I feel about the Nintendo Switch? Well, I think it'll be cool. I think having a portable device like that is kind of cool, but that's really more of a topic that I think we would have on Eligible Monster, more so than Comics Explained. But Fox is bad with their movies 7 out of 10 times. No, Fox is, you know, the guys upstairs at Fox involve themselves too much in the movies 7 out of 10 times. So Tom Hardy can pull off Wolverine. The problem is, does Tom Hardy want to pick up Wolverine? Honestly, if Hugh Jackman's done playing Wolverine, I say they walk away from Wolverine. Like, they need to move away from him. Don't have anybody replace him. Because if they have anybody replace him, it's going to be the classic example of anybody who tries to play the Joker after Heath Ledger. All people are going to do is they're going to go and they're going to watch it and they're going to say, nope, he's not as good as Heath Ledger. Like, that's all that's going to happen. People are going to sit, and it's going to cause problems for the actor, you know, because Tom Hardy is an amazing actor. But, you know, I think that if he were to play Wolverine, people would sit down and they would say he's not as good as Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman was the best, and that'll be it. So, I think the Doctor Strange movie is going to be amazing. Wolverine and The Last of Us. How strong is Doomsday? Doomsday is, damn. Doomsday was able to hold his own, was really able to fight him to the death against the pre-Flashpoint Superman. The one that you see right now, the Superman you see right now in DC Rebirth. He was able to hold his own against that version of Superman. That version of Superman was stronger than the new 52 Superman. So Doomsday's strong as hell. He's one of the strongest people in the entirety of the DC universe. Oh yeah, okay. How many of you all have read Infamous Iron Man? The one where Doctor Doom becomes Iron Man. How many of you guys have read that? How do you get back into comics? Some advice? Really just grab whatever you like from DC Rebirth or All New, All Different Marvel. It's really just that simple. Like, it's not some grandiose explanation. It's really just that simple. Grab what you think is nice and go with it. Okay. So in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, from what I can tell, they're giving us a character named Her. Now, as soon as I saw that, my thought was, it's so good. Well, shit. I'll drop my peanut. I loved Infamous Iron Man. I thought it was really good. We'll come back to that Infamous Iron Man topic here in a second. As soon as I saw that they were going to have the character Her in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I thought of Adam Warlock. And the reason why I thought Adam Warlock is because when he first appeared, he was known as him. That's all he was. He was just known as him. The Enclave, the ones that made Adam Warlock, weren't able to physically see what he looked like because he put off so much energy. And so what they did is they went to Alicia Masters, the blind girlfriend of Ben Grimm, and they had her sculpt out what it was that Adam Warlock originally looked like, because she didn't have the ability to see. She wouldn't be blinded by the light that he put off, but she was such a good sculptor, she could feel his face and then go from there. After that, Adam Warlock fought the Fantastic Four, escaped the Enclave, took off into space, and became the character that we know today. But it would allow Marvel to segue into the introduction of Adam Warlock officially, aside from just featuring a cocoon somewhere inside the collector's collection place. But I think we will see Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy 2. I hope so, anyway. No, the death of X-Event is not the end of the X-Men. The death of X-Event talks about the death of Cyclops. That's all that does. Which I will be covering when that finishes. Most definitely. Sam Alexander, Nova Origin, and the following comics. Oh, you're asking me to make the Sam Alexander origin in the following comics. I'll probably do Sam Alexander in the all-new, all-different Marvel landscape. Anyway, jumping back to Doom, to Infamous Iron Man. I love the idea of Dr. Doom being Iron Man. I like what they're doing where they're just kind of like reworking his character and making him a good guy. I love that whole aspect. Like, I think it works. I think it works really, really well. The question is, how long will this be? How long will this last? So, that's one of the big problems. What's the next DC character that should get their own CW show? Ooh, that's a good one. All right, I'll answer this, and you guys answer this. What DC character should get their next should get a CW show? What DC character should get that? If I had my choice, I'd choose Green Lantern. I'd choose Hal Jordan. That would be my decision. But I don't know. God, so many questions. Mickey Mouse is God. Will I do a video about the Reavers? Yes. I will do a video about the Reavers and Donald Pierce. With enough prep, how far can Doctor Doom go in the DC universe? Not very far. Doctor Doom has ties to mysticism and sorcery. And while magic is somewhat of a focal point in the realm of, Marvel Comics, it's a huge point in the realm of DC. You got Zatanna. You have, how many other magic wielders do you have in DC? I mean, you got all kinds of different magic wielders. You got the new gods whose strength is just so extreme that it doesn't matter whether or not you use magic, they're still probably going to kick your ass. I mean, Doom would do decent enough on Earth. But once you move beyond Earth, you got the Lantern Corps, you have the various races that have been around for millions of years. I don't think Doom would last that long. He's super smart, but I don't think he'd last that long. Deathstroke's okay. I have not had a chance to read Deathstroke Rebirth, although I do need to. The problem is the first story arc is like 8 issues or something along those lines. Mixopidalic. Dr. Fate. I have not read Jason Aaron's Ghost Rider. Is it good? My favorite Rebirth comic? Superman. And I never thought I'd say that. I never thought there would be a time where I sat down and I said, my favorite comic book right now is Superman. Superman's my favorite character, but he's my favorite character because of what he stands for, because of the legacy that he created. But I never thought I'd sit down and say, God, man, the Superman and Action Comics line of stories are amazing. I never thought I'd say that. But I am. I am saying that because they are amazing, They're incredibly well written right now. Kamala Kahn, that is how you spell it. Yes, I like Kamala Khan's character. She's young, she's vibrant, she's fun, she's just really fun to read. And I like her character a lot in Marvel. Zatanna should get her own show. Favorite comic book themed shows right now? The Flash. That's it. The Flash is the only good, the best show for comic book characters on network television. Now, the best comic book show in general, Daredevil Season 2, I'd say. The best comic book related show in general. If I had to go in order, okay, what's your all's favorite comic book show right now? I'm kind of curious too. What's the best comic book show at the moment? Smile? What's the best comic book show in your all's mind? But if I had to go in order, I would say Daredevil Season 2, The Flash, Daredevil Season 1, Jessica Jones, Supergirl. I know that's going to be a rough one, but the Supergirl right now on CW is amazing. And then probably Luke Cage and then Arrow. Luke Cage was good, but I'm with Benny. I think it was the weakest of the Netflix series. Mike Colter plays a great Luke Cage. It's just the writing, I think, was lackluster. I feel like the writing could have been a bit better. But oh my God, so many answers. I'm eating peanuts. Iron Fist. How good is Thor's magical ability? Okay, here's the thing when it comes to Thor and magic, guys. Thor himself, like Odin's son, or even Jane Foster, they're not magical. The hammer is magical. That's one of the things we ran over with, yeah, I'm doing The Walking Dead tomorrow. That's one of the things that we ran over with, yeah. That's one of the things that we ran over with the whole idea of the untold origin of Thor's hammer. That the hammer itself is magical. I had to think about that for a second. Like, is it the hammer? Yeah, it's the hammer that's magical. So, I've never even watched Preacher. I haven't seen that once. I really had no interest in seeing Preacher. What's my opinion on Infamous Iron Man? Well, we answered that already, but I love it. I love Infamous Iron Man. I think it's super good. Like, I think it's one of the best all new, all different line of stories out there right now. I ran over Thor. I ran his ass down. I regret nothing. Let's see. How powerful is Odin? Okay, guys. So Odin has what's called the Odinforce. And for something like, hell, I don't know, 20 or 30 years, there was never an explanation on what the Odinforce was. It was just, there's the Odinforce, and it allows Odin to do cool stuff. And that's it. It was later revealed that the Odinforce is basically the life energy of Odin himself, combined with what was thought to originally be his two only brothers, Vili and V. But it's basically just the source of Odin's power. It's his power source. The Odinforce is equivalent to the X gene and the X-Men that gives them their powers. It's equivalent to, you know, the Terrigen gene or the Terrigen mist, whatever it is that gives the Inhumans their powers, you know. That's all it is, you know. It's just a source of energy. It's kind of weird that they do that, but it's a source of energy. But the younglings! All right, I'm having a hard time keeping up with all the questions. We're going to slow these down a bit. All right. Yes, I love Suicide Squad. I thought Suicide Squad was a great movie. I thought it was pretty stellar. So is the Odinforce infinite? No. Okay. The Odinforce is not infinite. How many of you guys have heard of something called the Odin Sleep? I'm sure you have. I have not read Tom King's Omega Men. Odinforce versus the Speed Force? Odinforce, hands down. Yeah, the chat's flying. Like, it's flying so fast. It's insane. I've not read I Hate Fairyland. Benny loves it. He says it's amazing. But that Alan Scott? Yes, you have heard of it. Okay. Bear with me on this delay, guys. Yes, you have heard of the Odin Sleep. Okay. So Odin's power is not infinite. All right. Think of the Odin source as like a battery. All right. When you deplete a battery, you have to recharge it. That's what the Odin Sleep does. The Odin Sleep allows Odin to recharge the Odinforce. The difference is that the duration of the Odin Sleep depends on how much power he uses. So let's say that, like, Thor was like, you know what, I hate you, Dad, I'm going to take over Asgard. Thor and Odin got into a fight, and Odin defeated Thor. The amount of time it would take for the Odin Sleep to, you know, to recharge him would be less than if Odin fought against, like, Galactus. Then it would take more time for the Odin Sleep to recharge after a Galactus battle than a Thor battle. So that's all that is. Well, Faust returned to the weekly poll. Faust is in it now because he's working on his own project. So we just gave him an open invitation, you know, just show up when you can, you know, whatever you want to do. So I actually haven't been keeping up with Deadpool. I need to, but I haven't been keeping up with Deadpool. My opinion on the superhero movie trend. Let's see. Well, got an air bubble. I love the idea of the superhero movie trend. I love what direction they're going with it. The idea of superheroes that we grew up reading, that we know and love, all getting their own movies. That is a super cool thing. Like that, I definitely dig. Will Gore come back? Probably not. Gore was a cool villain, but I don't see him making a return because the basis behind his creation is over. You know, there's no more need for him anymore because all the gods have been recreated. They're all back again. So, Deadpool versus Wolverine, that battle is as old as time, and it just depends on the writer. Let's see. Do I watch Witchblade? My stream drop off? Oh, okay. Huh. How come there's nothing in the chat? Well, that's weird. Maybe it freaked out. Did my stream crash? What the heck just happened? Okay. That's a problem. All right. Okay, are we back? Are we back? Are we good? I feel like we're good now. Okay. That's weird. All right, anyway, apparently like it's super behind now, which is kind of strange. But yeah, okay, so we're back. I think we're good. All right, so I am back now. Okay. Who can rival Mad Jim Jaspers in DC? Ooh. Probably the White Lantern, Kyle Rayner. Like I know he can probably do that. Don't cross the streams. YouTube is always screwing up. It's pitiful now. Anybody who can warp reality on like a cosmic scale. So Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern, Kyle Rayner could probably do it. The Spectre can probably rival him. We know the Presence can because the Presence is like God. Probably any of the Judeo-Christian deities. So like Lucifer, probably archangels. I mean, because I know the DC is really heavy on reflecting the Christian belief system within their own comics, or the Judeo-Christian belief system within their own comics. So I don't know. I used to have a singing voice until I started smoking cigarettes, and then I lost it. Let's see. Do Spider-Woman video? Yeah, I need to do like the all new. Okay. So here's the other thing too. Since we have so many people here, here's the other thing that we're gonna do too. All right, we are going. All right, here. Here, check this out. Oops, hold on a second. Oh, I want to show you guys my desktop, by the way. Hold on, check this out. Check out my desktop. That's my new wallpaper. The red capes are coming. All right, Microsoft Excel. Show you guys this real quick. Oops. Here we go. All right, so you guys should be able to see this. So here's what I'm thinking about doing with the release schedule. Is going through over the next couple weeks. I need to fill in DC or fill in Marvel. But see, we got Doctor Strange volumes 1 and 2. I need to go through here. Like I think I'm going to go through here and just do all the Rebirth #1s. The issue with this is that those videos will not be very popular just because of the fact that it's running over stuff people already know. But I'd rather have them and not need them than need them and not have them. So, Doctor Strange's powers. So, that to me is kind of an important thing. Like, I want that to be there. Like, yeah, I think it is pretty cool. But I want to have that there. I want to have all those Rebirth #1. So for like the next 2 weeks, it'll probably just be, DC Rebirth #1 issues. Like I said, because it'll be running over. I mean, it'll be all the #1 issues that have come out so far. So, I mean, I don't know, how receptive people will be to that. Oh, I love DC Rebirth right now, but I just want to have them for the sake of having them there. And then what that'll also do is it'll keep me from running out of DC Rebirth content. That's what that'll do. So, let's see. How did the Superhuman Act get repealed in the comics? Oh, okay, yeah, okay. So for those of you guys who read Civil War but maybe dropped off after that, yeah, Valiant stuff is coming. For those of you guys so if you dropped off after or before Civil War came to an end, or you simply weren't reading Marvel during Civil War, so we had the Civil War event, the passage of the Superhuman Registration Act. There was a superhuman team in all 50 states. It was called the 50 State Initiative. Those superheroes who signed up for the Superhuman Registration Act became part of the 50 State Initiative. Those superheroes who didn't were thrown in Prison 42 and the Negative Zone. Now, the 50 State Initiative was actually a series of publications that covered the fallout from Civil War leading up to the death of Captain America. After the death of Captain America, there was Secret Invasion. Then there was Dark Reign, I think, and Siege. I keep getting them confused. I can't remember if it was Siege or Dark Reign first. It was whichever one. During those two story arcs, they repealed the Superhuman Registration Act. That was when you started seeing things like Tony Stark was removed as director of S.H.I.E.L.D. because the whole Secret Invasion event took place and all that kind of good stuff. So that's what that is. But the Valiant is coming. but yeah, that's where all that stuff comes from. But ribs and soda, comics and coffee. Dude, ribs do sound like a good lunch. What above all? Iron Man versus Batman. They've met before in the comics, I'm pretty sure. Favorite superhero. My favorite superhero is Superman, just because of the legacy that he created. But Gwenpool, yeah. There's all new, all different Marvel stuff. All different Marvel stuff that we have to cover. So, there's we're gonna cover everything, all the volume ones. What I think I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna look at the solicitations for Marvel Now 2.0. And I'm going to look at what they're keeping and what they're getting rid of. And I'm just going to do videos on the content that they're keeping and continuing. Like the Avengers, so on and so forth, stuff like that. I'm pretty sure Gwenpool is going to keep going. Because to me, it doesn't make any sense to do videos on content that they're going to be getting rid of for Marvel Now 2.0. I mean, at this point, if I was doing this when the story arcs first finished, I would have just done them all. But right now, with all new, all different Marvel, with all those events taking place, definitely definitely should have gone through. And right now, simply just can't go through everything. So, How would I bring mutants, X-Men to the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Through Doctor Strange. Literally just have them bring them in from an alternate reality. That's what I would do. They just show up through a portal. It's not very original, but I think it would work. It would fit within the context of the MCU. But if you could pick one Marvel character to get a show or movie that doesn't have one, who would you choose? You'd choose Moon Knight? Why do you guys love Moon Knight? I don't understand why people love Moon Knight so much. I would choose a Century Robert Reynolds, and I'd make it a miniseries. It would be a one-off, and it would only be like 6 or 7 episodes. It would be short, and they would be really well done, and that would be it. It would just be like a miniseries, and it would just be like I would just call it Marvel Minis, and that would be it. It would just be the Marvel miniseries. It would just like be a mini thing on that. So, when you say the new Joker, are you talking about Scott Snyder's Joker, or are you talking about the Joker from Batman Beyond? Because I love Scott Snyder's Joker. So, are gods weaker than the cosmic entities? Under normal circumstances, yes. Under normal circumstances, the gods of the Sky Fathers, or whatever it is that you want to call them, they are weaker than the cosmic entities. Because the cosmic entities represent aspects of the universe. They're not really physical beings. They can take on physical forms, but they're not really physical beings. So, dude, I haven't read Ultraverse in years. Yeah, kind of like Agent Carter, exactly. Like I would do that. So, what do you think of the new Logan trailer? Yeah, I loved the new Logan trailer. It was pretty solid. Like I thought it was pretty amazing. How busy is your average day? Super busy. Insane. Like after I get done with this, I'll have to start recording a whole bunch of one-shots, probably the one-shots for the week for DC Rebirth. And then, actually, here's what I might do with those one-shots for DC Rebirth. I might combine 2 into one video. So it'll just be like, you know, DC Rebirth one-shots. And it'll be like Aquaman, or we already did Aquaman, but it'll be like Nightwing and somebody else. And it'll just be a series of one-shots. Like, yeah, we'll just call it that. DC Rebirth one-shots. And we'll put 2 characters in one video. Like, that's what we'll do, I think. Because it'll allow me to get through them at a relatively good amount of time. It'll still give me plenty of time to spare for the future story arcs coming up. So, what do I think about Zendaya as Mary Jane Watson? Well, Zendaya is a beautiful actress. She's a very beautiful woman. And I think she'd make a good Mary Jane Watson. I mean, in truth, it really all just comes down to my favorite Rebirth book is Superman right now. No, I'm sorry. It's Trinity. Trinity is amazing. How many of you guys read Trinity #2? I think that, you know, it all comes down to acting, and I think that Zendaya will do a great job, you know, as long as the writing is good, as long as her ability to act out the character is good, she'll be fantastic. The question is, can she pull that off? And here's the biggest question is, will Spider-Man fans be receptive to her? That's the big deal. That's the big one. So, what's your favorite Rebirth title besides Superman Rebirth? Trinity #2 is so good. It's insane. Franklin Richards equals the audience. Trinity is, to me, it's beautifully written, it's beautifully drawn. Francis Manipool is nothing short of spectacular. You know, yeah, this is my job. He's nothing short of spectacular. So, do you think vampires and werewolves should be added to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, including Blade? Yes, but that depends on the success of Doctor Strange. See, the issue is that people have, when we go see movies on comic books, we have a suspension of disbelief. All right. We say, yes, of course, in the real world, you could not have a guy who's blasted with gamma radiation and turns into a giant green monster. In real life, it would be like the comic book Ruins, where he's just mutated and grotesque and all that kind of stuff. That's basically how things would turn out. But, yeah, I feel like Trinity is the new Justice League. But, at the same time, people also have a limit to that suspension of disbelief. What you don't want to do is throw them a ton of stuff at one time. You don't want to be like, hey, there's this guy that can travel dimensions, manipulate time, he uses magic. He can do pretty much everything because magic, whatever, we don't have to explain anything. But while he's doing that, there's also this guy named Werewolf by Night, and then there's vampires, and Blade's hunting those vampires and killing them. Like, you don't want to throw too much. You want to give people time to absorb and to consider it part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, which is why I like the kind of phasing that they're doing. I like they're gradually introducing things, because it's been a while. Like, the last time that we saw any real measure of like magic or anything with regards to non-normal circumstances was with Thor. That was the last time we saw that. Thor 1 introduced us to magic and, science being converged. That's the last time we got anything unique. Ever since then, it's been grounded in real world stuff. Then we get Doctor Strange, which is purely magic, And then after that, we'll probably get some more stuff, Infinity Stones being worked in over time. So I like what they're doing with that. But top 3 comic writers, Jonathan Hickman, Brian Michael Bendis, Jeff Johns. Done and done. Top 3 writers. Jason Aaron comes in a strong 4th place. Dragon Ball Super is super good right now. I did not mean to make that joke, but it is really good right now. Yeah. What does my comic collection look like? It's shelves of stuff. Let's see. God, I haven't read Earth X in a long time. Superman is going to race pre-New 52 Wally West and Titans. Is he? That's awesome. That I'm gonna do a video on that. Like he's gonna race pre-New 52 Wally West. Hell yeah! Like I'm definitely gonna do that. But let's see. Read Hickman's Fantastic Four. Watch your videos, or both. Both. Watch my videos, get a feel for it, and then go read it. Because there are some things we didn't have time to include. Like we didn't go as in depth in the War of the Four Cities. We didn't even cover what happened to Doctor Doom afterwards. By the way, Doctor Doom builds an army of Dooms in the former citadel of the Council of Reeds. So. No Alan Moore, Frank Miller. Yeah, they're great writers, but I'm talking about writers right now. Sure, there are, but even then, they've only had a handful of great stories. I mean, Frank Miller wrote, The Dark Knight Returns and Batman Year One and Watchmen. That's like the 3 good stories that he wrote. Well, he also did Daredevil too, which is pretty solid. But Alan Moore has like The Killing Joke, has like a good story. So yeah. Miles Morales introduced in Homecoming. I want to see Miles Morales introduced in the Marvel Cinematic Universe at some point. It doesn't even have to be him becoming Spider-Man. It's just like he watches, like you see Spider-Man fighting a villain or something like that, fighting whoever it is, and you see some kid watching, and his dad's like, Miles, come on. And that's it. That's all you get. That would be cool. Like, that'd be interesting to me. Just a nod to Miles Morales. So, let's see. Do you think people are starting to fatigue in superhero movie genre? I think that to a degree they are, because it's just so much coming at them. And the issue is the fact that there's not a lot of change. That's one of the reasons why I think now I think right now Doctor Strange is the movie, and let me know whether or not you guys agree with this, but I think right now Doctor Strange is the movie that the comic book movie genre needs. Like, it needs Doctor Strange. Because Doctor Strange it'll inject a fresh influx of new concepts. The great thing about the Marvel Cinematic Universe right now is that it's been rooted in realism. It's been rooted in, it's really something you could see if you turned on the news. Some super soldier running around because of a serum that enhances abilities. Maybe a god with a hammer showed up. I mean, these are things that you could possibly see, if you turn on the news one day, which is cool. The problem with that is it makes it so real that it leaves so little to the imagination. With Batman versus Superman, that was just bad. That was just a bad movie. The Man of Steel I enjoyed, but a lot of what we're seeing with regards to the DC cinematic landscape is what we've already seen. You sit down and you watch Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. I got to throw it out there right now. There's never going to be Batman movies that are going to be as good as Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. Like, no one will make movies that good, and they shouldn't try. They should just make what they believe to be good Batman movies and go from there. I think that Ben Affleck will do one hell of a job with Batman, by the way. He was amazing in Batman vs. Superman. It's just the writing for the movie was terrible. But, I think that with Doctor Strange, it'll give us sorcery. It'll give us time travel. It'll give us just crazy out there in left field things. And I think that's what people need. People need to not feel like they're seeing their own world in comic books and be reminded there's some crazy shit that goes on in this world, in this cinematic universe. Because I think that with the events of Captain America Civil War, with the events of Age of Ultron, with Captain America the Winter Soldier, with the Iron Man movies, so on and so forth, people have forgotten that Thanos is running around capturing the Infinity Stones. That's one of the reasons why Guardians of the Galaxy did so good, because Guardians of the Galaxy took us into space. It showed us stuff that we hadn't seen before. So I think that Doctor Strange will do that. I think Doctor Strange will give us a fresh influx. And I think that's why Infinity War will be so big is because it's going to be the amalgamation of everything that we've seen up to this point. Now, here's the big question is, what's Marvel going to do after Infinity War? That's what I want to know, because I feel like they've already done all the best stuff. So where do you go from here? I don't know. But am I happy to see Richard Rider back as Nova? I mean, I guess. I was never that big of a Richard Rider fan. I love Sam Alexander. You know, I know a lot of older fans who liked Richard Rider want to see him come back, but I feel like Richard Rider fans are few and far between. I think there's a lot more Sam Alexander fans than there are Richard Rider fans. So, you know, it'll be cool to see two Novas there. I think Richard Rider will reform the Nova Corps. I think that the World Mind will come back, and I think Sam Alexander will be officially inducted into their ranks and just be the Nova of Earth. But, you know, the fact remains that I don't know. I don't think there's that many Richard Rider fans out there. Thanos did it all for the Nookie. I did it all for the Nookie. Come on, the Nookie. Come on. I remember when that song first came out. Limp Bizkit was awesome back in the day. I would like to see Dormammu take on the entirety of the Marvel Universe. That would be cool. Should you have pizza or lasagna for dinner? Lasagna? Why would you want anything else? Why would you think that pizza is better than lasagna? That's crazy talk. Lasagna is amazing. Which, by the way, I need to call. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to text my sister, because I think she said she was making lasagna. And if she is, we got to find out. Because if she is making lasagna, I'm going to go over there. I'm going to take some movies over there. We're going to eat some lasagna and watch some movies. You still making lasagna? It's 11:30 in the morning. She might not be up. Explain the Nova Corps. Okay, so I did a Nova Corps series based on when I was doing Richard Rider. The Nova Corps was more or less Marvel's equivalent to the Green Lantern Corps. But instead of having like a central battery core, and instead of having Guardians of the Universe that created the Nova Corps, instead you had like a world mind. You had literally a sentient computer program that governed, you know, and kept track of the Nova Corps. But then you had Nova Prime, who was the leader. The Nova Corps in the comics was very different. Well, it was not very different, but it was different from what you guys saw in in Guardians of the Galaxy. Pizza is not better than lasagna. Saying stuff like that will get you banned on my channel. No, I wouldn't. No, not at all. But no, like lasagna is much better than pizza. Make a lasagna out of pizzas. That's a genius idea. But no, it was very similar, basically, to DC's Justice League or DC's Green Lantern Corps. It's basically what that was. So, let's see. Would I like Nova in the MCU? I'd like Sam Alexander in the MCU. I would definitely dig that. I would love to see that. You were wondering when the incursions happen in Marvel. Why didn't Franklin stop the incursions from happening? Okay, they tried that. Jonathan Hickman answered that question towards the end of the story. When they were at their breaking point, when they turned everything they could possibly do, Reed Richards tried to harness the power of Franklin to stop the incursions, his ability to warp reality, and couldn't keep it from happening. Hickman doesn't really tell us why. He simply says that they just couldn't do it. Like Franklin just couldn't stop the incursions from happening. Because that was one of the questions I had, is if, well, Franklin Richards got these ridiculous powers, why doesn't he stop it? And his powers wouldn't allow him to. It was beyond his ability to control. So, let's see. Much love from Australia. I appreciate it. Pizza for life. Hashtag pizza for life. I want to see that. I want you guys to start just type that in the chat. Just say hashtag pizza for life. I definitely want to see that. I completely agree with you, and I am extremely happy that Jeff Johns... Yeah, I really like that Jeff Johns is in control. He's doing a great job, because Jeff Johns is a comic book fan, you know, and it's literally a comic fan running a comic company, or at the very least, he seems to have creative control of a comic company, and it's working. You know, it really seems to be working. So, let's see. What's my favorite Tantrum in the Marvel Universe? I don't know. When Thanos got mad because Death wouldn't love him, and then he turned around and wiped out half of life in the universe, I think that was kind of cool. Pizza for life. Lasagna. See, there had to be that one guy. Lasagna for life, bro. Lasagna for life. let's see. Well, the music that we use in my videos, my editor just grabs those off Epidemic Sound, so I don't know which ones he uses. Well, I do more videos on Miles. Yeah, I'm going to cover Miles Morales for All New, All Different Marvel. Let's see. I need the same level of oversight in Marvel. Yeah, I don't know what they're doing over there. Hold on a second, let me scroll back up. Because you guys are sending so many messages. Love Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four review, the Doctor Doom one with many others, and they should totally modify that Hickman storyline for movies. Yes, okay. I would watch the hell out of a Jonathan. I wouldn't do it in a movie. I'd do it in Netflix, like a Jonathan Hickman Fantastic Four Netflix series. Like I would watch that. That'd be amazing. But I would be so hyped for that. Macaroni and cheese for life. Why not both? Spider-Man versus Cyclops. Spider-Man. Spider-Man by a mile. Like, definitely by a mile. Spider-Man would crush Cyclops. It'd be insane. Let's see. Infinity War takes place after Infinity Gauntlet? Yes. And, like, chronologically, it's Infinity War, Infinity Gauntlet, Infinity Crusade? Something like that. It's called the Infinity Trilogy. So, Miles versus Winter Soldier. Okay, now people are getting into versus things. What are the Watchmen doing now? We don't know. The Watchmen seem to basically kind of be hanging out in the DC universe, so we don't really know what all they have going on right now. So, that's the big undercurrent. That's the big question in the DC universe is, what's going on with Dr. Manhattan? What does he have to do with everything that's been unfolding? You know, so on and so forth. Like, what's his involvement in this whole DC universe rebirth? So, I think All New, All Different Marvel needs a reboot. No, I'm not playing Pokemon Go anymore. The numbers for Pokemon Go have dropped off drastically. I don't know if you guys have been following that or not, but it's insane. Heat Vision versus Optic Blast. Well, the Optic Blasts are what are called concussive blasts. And the difference between concussive blasts and heat blasts is concussive blasts just impact. They just hit really hard. That's all that is. Being hit by the Optic Blast of Cyclops at full strength is like being hit by a semi-truck at full speed. Probably even more intense than that, in truth, because you can cut mountains in half. But it's with heat vision, it's quite literally just heat. It's just super hot. So, let's see. What's my favorite type of coffee? Starbucks House Blend. That's my favorite kind. All right, a couple more questions, guys, and then I'm going to wrap up this episode. Let's see. Would you like a Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe movie? Yes, I would love to see a Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe movie. I would love to see that. That'd be hilarious. But that's a movie that you get when Marvel gets all the rights back. That's what happens. When Marvel gets the rights back to everything, then you see a Deadpool Kill the Marvel Universe movie. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if Deadpool stays popular over the course of however long it takes for Marvel to get the rights back, let's say it's like 15 years, and Deadpool's still popular, like in the movie universe, if they released a movie, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe, it would be amazing. It'd be so good. Like it'd be pretty stellar. But DC does not need a reboot. Rebirth is amazing right now. So, why is Jubilee not an Omega level mutant? Because she never pushed her powers to Omega level status. For those of you guys who don't know, Jubilee is considered an Omega, or potentially an Omega level mutant, because she can detonate matter on a subatomic scale. The problem is she lost her powers during House of M, and she never got them back. So she never had the chance to explore the full capacity of what she was able to do. I don't know if Marvel will ever get the rights back, to be honest. But let's see. What's hotter, Scarlet Witch or Black Widow? Okay, I'm not answering that question. How did Jane Foster get to the moon to pick up the hammer? Well, Jane Foster had already been inducted into the role of being a part of the the God Senate, the God Council, whatever it is, where the gods like, or I guess the realms, the representatives from the realms come together, and she was there to represent Asgard. So she already had the ability to sit in space, and she already had access to that area. It's just, I assume she just happened to be there. So, let's see. Do I think Clone Saga would work as a movie? Nope. I would never go see that. Best Captain America story. Ed Brubaker's entire run of Captain America is pretty stellar. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up this episode of Comics and Coffee. I'm glad you guys came out here. I really appreciate everybody being here. Again, you know, I do this every month, so the next one we do will probably be the week before Thanksgiving, just because of the fact that the week of Thanksgiving I'll be busy, and then the week after Thanksgiving I'll be Christmas shopping. So I won't really have time to do a whole bunch of that stuff. But anyway, guys, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and bounce off here. Thanks, everybody, for coming out. And, yeah, I will catch you all later. Peace.